G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. This bloke, Mike Greenberg, nothing against you personally, but your take is terrible. You've been on ESPN for a long time. I've been watching you since I was a kid. You've been around the sticks, right? You're around town. But what are you doing? He said this in another live show. He said, Mike Greenberg said this. You want to talk about maximizing their ability? They've done everything they can with what they have, Greenberg said. They might be the worst team in the NFL, and they're 5-3. Mike Tomlin has given me everything possible he possibly could. Greenberg, what are you on? The worst team, the absolute worst team in the NFL. In this episode, I'm going to go over 10, 12, 15 teams that the Steelers are better than. Yes, we're not the best team in the NFL, but we are certainly not the worst. This week has been a real funny week. From the George Pickens saga, from Mike Tomlin saying it was just a pebble in his shoe and saying it's easy as just breathing by, facing the adversity, easy as breathing. And then back to guys like this on ESPN saying the Steelers are the worst team in the NFL. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and the Steelers are the worst. Makes no sense. When you have blokes on the line like TJ, Highsmith, Cameron, Haywood, that's a real big disrespect to those guys. Big disrespect. Also, Minka's out, but he's one of the best safety, if not the best safety in the league. Come on, man. This is insane. Absolutely insane. They might be the worst team in the NFL. So let's go through it. Let me throw a bit of shade at the other teams in the NFL. And we'll go through, we'll start with the NFC first, okay? And then we'll work our way back to the AFC. And we'll start with the NFC West. The Cardinals are 1-8. So the Steelers are worse than them. They have a minus 89 point differential. Kyler Murray hasn't even played yet. They're a bad team. They're a really bad team. See how these takes don't make any sense? The Rams are 3-6. We beat them. The Seahawks are falling apart a little bit. They're 5-3. The 49ers have lost 3 in a row. They're 5-3. So you could argue that the Kenny Pickett Steelers are better than all 4 of those teams. Now, I understand that the 49ers are a really good team with all their skill positions, but they have lost 3 in a row. So they won 5 to start, and now they lost 3 in a row. So I'd say the Steelers are better than the Cardinals, the Rams. That's 2. Keep that number 2. All right. And NFC South. Carolina Panthers are 1-7. They're minus 86. They're better than them. They got their first win, I think, 2 weeks ago with their rookie quarterback. The Buccaneers have Baker Mayfield. They've lost 4 in a row, so they're better than them. That's 2 as well. The Falcons are 4-5, and the Saints are 5-4. I'll keep both those teams like even. So we already have now 4 teams that the Steelers are better than. Next, Chicago Bears are 2-7. They're minus 54. Right? The Packers are 3-5. I'd say they're both better than them. So Kenny Pickett and the Steelers are better than them. That's 6. Vikings are 5-4. They've won 4 in a row. The Lions are 1 in a row. They're 6-2. Okay, so we'll leave those 2 there. The Giants are 2-7. Right? And think back too, Steeler fans complain about everything. So would you want to be a Giants fan that's 2-7? Would you want to be a Chicago Bears fan that's 2-7? Who've lost 2 in a row? Would you want to be a Carolina Panthers fan? And I understand if you are a fan of that team, then yeah, you stick by your team no matter what. But I'm saying put yourself in their shoes of being a fan of that team. The Panthers are going bad right now. The Cardinals in their history had never won a Super Bowl. We beat them in 43, and they're 1-8. Their season is effectively over. So 1, 2. So Rams, Cardinals, Panthers, Buccaneers, Bears, Packers. Giants, I think Commanders will leave it about even. I think they're even with us. And I think the Cowboys and Philadelphia. So what's that? 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 teams in the NFC I think that we're better than. And Mr. Greenberg, where are you, mate? Mr. Mike Greenberg, hey, mate, what's going on? Says that the Steelers might be the worst team in the NFL. That this might be the worst take ever existed. Absolutely ever existed. This is the worst take ever. So let's crack on to the other side. So 7 Seven teams in the NFC. Alrighty. AFC West. Denver Broncos are 3-5. They've won 2 in a row. There you go. They're trying to come back. I still think that the Steelers are better than them. Las Vegas Raiders right now are 4-5. Got their new coach. We beat the Raiders. So let's call 1 for that. So we'll call 1 for the Denver Broncos and 1 for the Raiders. That's 2. The Chargers. You know what? I think we're better than the Chargers. I don't really trust the Chargers out that way. They're always seem to be an even middle team. I think the Steelers could beat the Chargers, so they're 4-4. So let's call 3 in the AFC West. The Titans, we beat the Titans as well. So they're 3-5. That's fantastic. The Colts are 4-5. We'll keep that one maybe even, a push. And the Texans, they're a good side. The rookie Stroud, what they're doing at that way, scoring that many points, they're a good side. They beat us, they win that. Jags beat us, so they win that. So we'll keep that there. And then it comes back to the AFC North. I think we're better than the Ravens. I think we're better than the Browns. So overall, let's do 5. That's 12. And I think Bengals were a push. Now, New England Patriots were 2-7, who are minus 93. They always talk about the Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick like comparison. Well, look at it now. You haven't got Brady. We haven't got Big Ben. Look at the difference. Massive difference. We're going through a rebuild last 2 years of Kenny Pickett, and it looks much better than the Patriots, who are absolutely falling apart. They're 2-7, so we're better than them. Make that 6, right? I've got a lot of teams, by the way. The New York Jets, they're a failure, absolute failure. They need Rodgers back, and even with Rodgers, I think they're bad. So that's 7. And the Buffalo Bills, I think, would be a push, and Miami Dolphins would be a push as well. So let's keep it at that. Let's do that. 7. There we go. I've got 7 plus 7. It's 14 and 3. 17 teams I've counted that I think are worse than the Steelers. And it makes the Steelers around that notion of 20 or 15 like in the power rankings. If you were to do it, Steelers are pretty close to the power rankings being top 10. Now, they won't do that. They'll give it to the Bengals, they'll give it to the Ravens, they'll give it to the Browns. But I've just counted that 17 teams are worse than our Steelers. And this bloke, Mike Greenberg, gets paid millions of dollars. G'day, mate. What's going on? He gets paid millions of dollars, right, to say these things. Why can't I say these things? Okay, here it is. The Pittsburgh Steelers are better than 17 teams. Yeah, I said it. Do I get paid millions of dollars? No. So he says here, you want to talk about maximizing their ability, that they've done everything they can, what they have. Greenberg said they might be the worst team in the NFL, and they're 5-3. That's the worst take in the NFL. That's the worst take I've ever heard. Maybe in a long time. Maybe not ever, but one of the worst takes I've ever heard. And you get paid to talk about football. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. Anyways, guys, that's it. Mr. Greenberg says, "G'day, mate. Goodbye. Make sure you sub to the channel. See you later, mate. Catch ya." All right, guys. See you later.